I'm sorry that video didn't come out yesterday. Went off after 3 minutes. When I start speaking too loud, I think it does something to the volume control where it knocks out the sound or something, static sound. Sorry about that. What I was trying to talk about was how all the codes, they have those things are laws. It's not in the Constitution, but they become actual laws. You can't have so many people. You can only have so many people living in a house. Um, Same thing with the land. You can't sleep on your land. This all happened like in the '60s. I was talking to a guy today that lives out in. Well, he doesn't live, but he has this 3 acres, and he's selling it for like 21,000. But he said that he was there before any of the people around him who have houses and stuff. And so they leave him alone. But he says he comes down about twice a year, and every time he told me just a while ago at night all the neighbors got together and they came down like a posse with big lights and the guns and everything. And they wanted to, when they knew it was him, they thought it was okay, but they thought it might be a stranger on the land. So yeah, people are really uptight now, and in some areas they're really into their guns. Their guns are like their saviors or something. And what I was bringing out was before they had all these codes, man. People were more natural, All this you see this flakiness we have today. All of this all shirts have to be ironed, and I mean they're permanent press, but I mean everything has to look a certain way now. You can't relax, You can't be like God, You can't be like godly. I mean like natural, like out in the woods or things natural. You have to live in a spotless house, and why can't we live with nature, man? I'd much rather live out in the woods than live in some house, Just build a little shack, and plant trees, fruit trees and all kinds of things. I love to live a natural life. That to me is the best life you can live. But they make it just about actually impossible today. You can't live on land unless you have a house on it. I don't know, maybe in Montana, maybe you can. But it's really difficult in most all other places, and it's freezing up there. So, yeah, it's like a conspiracy, in the other video I brought out, I think after it was cut off, how with the hippie generation, that scared the establishment so bad, man, because the hippies were not for all this immorality and everything, There was some that was way out, They always try to bring in anything that's good. Satan always tries to bring in the negative and the ugly things, But there was a lot of communes, and there was people that were really trying to live away from the system, live naturally, the way God meant us to live. They won't allow it today. They will not allow it. And they'll persecute you, and the neighbors will get upset, and all of that, So they're producing a bunch of a faggot generation, Guys that walk around with their pants halfway down. That's okay. Nobody says a word about that, All the men wearing women's earrings. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. These bastards that try to stamp out everything that's good, they love what is bad. Where are the men? It's because they're devil worshippers. They worship Satan, and they belong to their Masonic lodges, where they love the devil. And they hate Jesus Christ. And they hate things that are natural and good. They don't want people to connect with the goodness that God has put all around us in nature. They don't want people to live naturally. They don't want wild. They think that's wild. They want to domesticate you, which means they want to turn you into a faggot, It's really, really sickening. And I got really upset in that video I made yesterday. That's why it shut off, because I was really getting loud, because there's a point, where you just had enough, and you can't take it anymore, when you feel like they're trying to actually kill you, you cannot survive. It's like the only place you can park van now and sleep is Walmart. You know, that's just about it. In a lot of places, you cannot. There's no place to hide. You know, and a lot of Walmarts now, they have big signs, no overnight parking, and you know, they stamped out that wall now. What will we do? What will we do? They already produce so many homeless people. So many people, homeless people are dead now. I've known many homeless people that are dead and gone now. And there was talk of all disappearing into camp. Why are they doing this, you know? It was never this way before. In the 60s, in the 50s, and before that, there was never homeless people like that. You know, there was true poverty where whole families, you know, they weren't on drugs or anything. It was just poor people in the Dust Bowl and stuff like that. That's true. But this phenomenon of homelessness, of people living on the streets, on the sidewalks, on drugs and all this stuff, this is a modern phenomenon. You know, but they don't leave any way out, you know, and that's the problem. They want you to join this. The point I was making, I made yesterday, was that they want you to if you want to follow Jesus Christ and you want to do what's right, they want you to die on the street. Only the faggots get to live. Only the perverts. There's a place for them in this world, but for those that love Jesus Christ, there's no place. That's how they want to make it. Unless you want to put all your money down or live your life for mammon, you know, serve mammon instead of God. You know, work your whole life just so you can afford to live in a house. You know, it's boring. It's boring in those houses. People don't even know their neighbors. What kind of life is it? Everybody's miserable. And everybody's fearful of what's happening in the world now. And I talk to so many people that are disgusted about what's happening. I talked to a lady today. She told me we're all doomed. We're going to hell now. And you see it. You see the darkness coming in. Things are not what they used to be. The feeling is not there. The happiness, the brightness. I have so many memories of a long time ago, you know, when there was just such a different feeling in the air. There was no fear. There was no dread like we feel today. And everybody feels it, you know. But some people are still cowards, man. They're too coward to renounce the wickedness and to go with the righteousness, you know. So they don't want to criticize those that are in power. They don't want to criticize the corruption of those that are in power, you know, because they're corrupt, you see. They're weaklings. They gave in. They were afraid. You know, they sought to save their life and they lose their soul, you know. So that was my point, was that we're not going to join your world, man. Whatever you do to us, we would rather live forever than live a few measly years in this miserable, dying world where everybody is dying. And these pathetic people, so many of them are just like obese pigs. I mean, they're just like disgusting, you know. And they sell their soul so they can do anything just to live a few more years in this disgusting world. You know, those that follow Jesus Christ, those that follow God, we count this life as nothing, you know, that we may attain eternal life. And that was some of my points. Of course, I probably did a better job of bringing it out yesterday because it was fresh in my mind and heart. It just came out, but that was my in memory. That's what I was talking about, and yeah, it's just amazing. I talked with this guy today. I was talking with him, you know, and I said, remember a long time ago when somebody would get out of line like that, like they're walking with their pants pulled down. You tell, hey man, pick your pants up. Don't walk around like that. It's disgusting. It's foul. But everybody's afraid to say a word. Everyone. And I say something. I mentioned in one of the videos how they called the cops on me one time because I told the guy to, hey, pull up your pants, man. He called the cops on me. They took down all my ID information and all that, you know. Ridiculous, you know. So yeah, that's basically what was on that video, I think. Sorry, I couldn't keep, you know. Anyway, I sure do appreciate you that watch the videos. I do appreciate it, you know. And sorry I lost that one last night. Take care and God bless y'all now.